course, just one generation before the invasion of Mexico was the U.S. invasion of Canada, which didn't go very well for the U.S. And the most famous participant in what we call in the U.S. the War of 1812, which actually largely happened in 1814, was a military general by the name of Robert Ross. And when I first started making frequent trips to Canada, people would often mention Robert Ross, and he was usually referred to as a Canadian in the when mentioned, which kind of, I mean, he was buried in Halifax, and but then if he wasn't referred to as a Canadian, they'd say he was Irish, but he was actually British, even though he was born and raised in Ireland, which is one of the complexities of colonialism, that somebody would call themselves British even if they've never weren't actually raised in Britain. But he's a nasty guy, really, overall. Very wealthy, land-stealing British military general who did all sorts of awful things. But he did accomplish something, I think, worth commemorating in August 1814, and which it's not the first time it's been commemorated in song, but I just felt the need to add my own contribution to the body of work that has already been produced on the subject. Robert Ross was from Ross River. He was born in County Down. His family was given land there by the British Crown. He was a man born of the gentry, born with wealth and fame, but he joined the British Army to serve his queen and make his name. In the Napoleonic Wars, he fought in many lands, in Holland and in Spain, in the far-off Egyptian sands. He was wounded there in battle, came back to fight another day, and he was sent off to attack the USA. York had been sacked and burned by invading Yankee men, but the Canadians regrouped, chased the Yankees home, and then the British Navy made its way to the shores of D.C. town, where General Ross burned the White House down. The year was 1814, the U.S. was in retreat. It was a Canadian victory, an American defeat. Without the French to help them, they got their ass whipped by the Crown when General Ross burned the White House down. The place had just been constructed only 12 years before, but it had to be rebuilt soon after this disastrous war. The president turned tail and ran like a raggedy clown when General Ross burned the White House down. He was killed a few months later. Irish rebels stopped him in his tracks. He was buried in Nova Scotia in the town of Halifax. He might have been forgotten, but he'll forever be renowned. He's the man who'll burn the White House down. He's the man who'll burn the White House down.
Do we get a BA or a bachelor's in history after this?
Yeah. People say they have to take notes.
Yeah.
Yes, there will be a test in the morning.
Just have to sing that when you next cross the border.
Yeah. Right. That could actually work really well, because there's a lot of nationalists working for the border agency. Racists too. Yeah. I know, because I get to be the token white guy that they pull over every time trying to get in. Actually, last time there was also a white girl, but she was married to an Arab. Give us your huddled masses, yearning to be free. That's what it says on the Statue of Liberty, and here they come from the other side, across the southern border, across the Great Divide. Now they're told they should go away, but the statue in the harbor says stay. Give us your cold and hungry, let them come by land or sea. Let them all find solace in this land of refugees, escaping persecution, just trying to survive. And they worked as hard as Guatemalans as soon as their ships arrived, and now they're told they should go away, but the statue in the harbor says stay. Give us your persecuted, but only if they're white. It doesn't say that on a statue that holds aloft the light. What did you think would happen in the lands you overthrew? Where should all the children go after the coup? Now they're told they should go away, but the statue in the harbor says stay. Now they're told they should go away, but the statue in the harbor says stay. The statue in the harbor says stay.